Well, this has got to be one of the most requested letters to be read to the audience in the last year. I'm constantly getting messages from people. Where's the next letter from T-Bone? Where's the next letter from T-Bone? This is actually letter number 86. He has sent me letters and I've been absolutely remiss in not posting them. If you're familiar with T-Bone's story, he's a massive guy, 6.5 foot, former Marine, trained to kill. Entire body covered in huge scars from all of his life and death situations, but he does use his skills as a US Marine to stop prison rape. So obviously the guy's got a huge heart. So in this letter, he is talking about conditions in the prison under the pandemic, and it's stressing people out. He also talks about Wildman, my loss of Wildman, and says, believe me, I know the pain you felt and feel at times, because in recent years he's lost his daughter, who was a young person, died quite quickly, unexpectedly, from an illness, and it absolutely devastated the entire family, his long-suffering wife and the siblings, of which there are a few. And then he talks about his own situation in the Marines, whereby he lost colleagues. There were times overseas in a country when I had bad thoughts and then nothing happened, but then it happened and it happened fast. I saw some guys, some Marines lose their lives. I ate with those guys, chased women with those guys, and we were well close. When we got back to the camp, it hit me hard. I felt the pain. As you know, I lost my little girl since I've been in here, and I cried and cried for the world to see. Yeah, because you can't cry in prison. If you're going to cry in prison, you've got to hide it, any sign of weakness, and they're going to exploit it. It's brutal. And Sean, God let me know love and to cherish the moments of joy and our loved ones and friends. And that's it. As horrible as it is, losing our loved ones, losing Wildman. If you're watching this, if you've lost someone in recent years, there seems to be a disproportionate amount of deaths in recent years due to perhaps the thing that's going around the world, the pandemic, and also the hospitals not letting people in because they were overfull and all that kind of thing. If you have lost someone around the world, it's brutal. You go through it, but when you get out the other side, it just reinforces that we are a miracle to be alive ourselves. Look at the infinite improbability of our own existence, and to make the most of it and what we've got, what's the most valuable. When we die, we're not going to take the money, the material stuff, our memories of our friendships and our loved ones, and spending time with them. And that's just such an important lesson that T-Bone is pointing out here. So let's continue. I thank God for our friendship every day. You are a man of honour, and Sean, the honour is mine. Things here are bad. I've had several run-ins with arseholes. Yes, I did catch the thing going around the world, but God has healed me because of my faith. Prayer does work. And I've asked God to protect you and to keep you safe and healthy. You won't believe the spread in this place. And the guys who have it don't care if they spread it or not. Every yard on the complex is locked down. Thousands of cases, some deaths. But the same sick behaviour is happening even with the COVID. And I want to talk about it, but I have no idea if you're getting my mail. So, yeah, there are situations with the mail, let's just say that. I don't want to give anything else away. I'm waiting for the court to make a decision on my writ. He's done a writ of habeas corpus. You know, if you're familiar with his case, it's horrendous. They tried to set him up on a 200-year beef for a robbery that he hadn't done. He beat that one. Then they paid, well, when I say paid, they dropped the charges against someone else to say he took $20 off a countertop in a shop and gave him 13 years. I'm waiting for the court to make a decision on my writ. I do believe they will see that I was arrested and charged with no evidence of a crime being committed. They don't need any evidence in Arizona. Once they got you, they say, look, sign this plea bargain or go to trial and we will give you decades. Even innocent people are so scared that they end up just signing a plea bargain. I discussed all this with Making a Murderer lawyer Jerry Buting, Stephen Avery's lawyer, and that interview is coming out quite soon. The state just changed attorneys again, and they didn't even follow the court's order to file these responses within 40 days. As you know, I'm an innocent man in prison dealing with the virus. This pain is keeping me focused on what is right. Thank you, my brother, my friend. He's on about, I send him some money every month. If you do want to donate to that, I'll put the link, the fundraiser link in the description box. All right, so I'll just add a little bit more. Sean, please be careful. I had a dream about you being successful, and I do know from my own experiences that people will do a lot of crazy things, including to get close to one who is successful. Well, as we've seen on the channel, it's been endless crazy things in the last year as the channel has grown significantly, from trolling to hackers to terminations to podcast wars. So I've not really got into details about all that stuff with T-Bone, but I think that's what he's alluding to. As the bigger things get, the crazier things get. But we have had an absolutely amazing year. We've had a record year, 100,000 new subscribers, record podcast production. We've got so many co-hosts now, such a wonderful team has been built up. So I just always see the positives. We've managed to weather all the storms and come out with this really strong team and crazy podcast production. And I'm having such a laugh, especially in the studio with Jen and Tug of War. We just filmed a Lobo podcast recently, and we had such a laugh. It's been fantastic. So let me see if he's got anything else here on this one to say. Oh yeah, he's talking about the case where he got found not guilty and the corruption. He says those charges were manufactured by the cops, and then I was found not guilty. But I never told you that during trial my attorney asked a forensic specialist to show the jury evidence that what the police was saying was true. She got up in court and went to the evidence table and looked at nothing. Space, pure space. And the district attorney says, quote, "We stipulate that there is no evidence." And they found me not guilty. Do you see what these parasites can do? How they can just take people to trial with no evidence, just to create work for themselves, to produce fodder for the prison industrial complex like T-Bone, and probably many. What's America got now? Over 2 million people in prison. How many of them have been conned and corrupted and tricked in courtrooms to be fodder for the prison system like T-Bone? Well, all these parasitic entities, all these legal vampires make millions of taxpayers' money by going through the motions in a courtroom where the evidence on the evidence table is thin. People may think this is hard to believe. I saw it firsthand myself. The justice system is preposterous. It is just a feeding trough for parasitic entities. Yeah, you know, they do get the bad guys, they do go to prison, but the vast majority of people inside, the mentally ill, people with addiction issues, and soldiers coming back from wars. More than half of my friends in prison were vets, war heroes. It is insane. And then the record amount of women in prison. In the UK, you got women in prison, a record number of women in prison for not paying the BBC TV licence. Before the drug war, women typically didn't go to prison. But when they ramped up the drug war, hundreds of thousands of women ended up in prison. That was under Clinton. Yeah. And it's been maintained by every administration to this day. So T-Bone is just giving us a glimpse of what is going on across America. And Jerry Booting, Stephen Avery's lawyer, Making a Murderer, Shining Knight, we're going to get into way more detail about that, and that interview should be coming up in about a week or so. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll put all the links in the description box if you want to go down hear or read T-Bone's previous letters. As I said, this is number 86. There's also the fundraiser donation link. If you do not donate to that, I send that money to T-Bone's wife and she administers it to him from there. So, thank you to everyone who has supported T-Bone over the years now. We're going back, what, almost 20 years? And he really appreciates all your love and support. So, take care out there. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.